can't believe it that there's already 8 days old, that election, fateful election day, 7th of December 2017, turning out to be historic in terms of the history of the Republic of Ghana. But still struggling with the aftermath of the election, some violence, and a lot to decide, and a lot to write about and to report about before the 7th of November. Sheikh Jibril has joined me in the studio. Hello.
Yes.
I have told my viewers that Sheikh has called us and said that your connection to the thesis that you present and the connection that you make to the Holy Quran is absurd, is wrong, okay, and it's even immoral.
Okay.
He'll be here in the studio to deal with that. But first, let's hear the latest predictions. Now, we've received so many calls of people who want to meet you. I mean, we've never received that number of applications of people looking for your telephone number. But I wanted to meet you first before I get the permission to give that phone number out or not. So tell us, the last time we ended on a prediction that you put across about the economic situation in Ghana. What is the latest?
Up to now, when I went back, I did my calculation too. It's still the same. That's why I'm having with me this one when I predicted President Buhari. That's almost a year before. I said that he'll be in a very serious crisis. And then, as you know, that Nigeria is now in a very serious crisis. I told him, Honorable Rashid Bawa. Do you know Honorable Rashid
Yes.
Bawa? Yeah, I sent him. You know, he's the right-hand man to Buhari. Maybe he's listening to us.
Rashid Bawa, our former ambassador to Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia. I gave him this, and I told him that Nigeria will experience a very acute economic crisis. And then he turned deaf ears. And now what is now happening in Nigeria? So the same thing. So MPP supporters cut across the globe, they are now insulting me, talking a lot of things, stuff. I don't care. That's what I've seen. And the country is going
but
to
it's not good enough to see. What should happen?
Pardon me?
What should happen? What should be done?
Yeah, I'll tell, that's why some of them are saying that I need attention or I need money. Or, no, I don't need anything. Really? So what I'm saying is that the country is going to be, and I gave you an example, and now that they are going to the ministerial appointment and then the MC and the DCs, Mr. Paul,
yes,
they are going to retire in Addo for position. So that one will also add to the subsequent the predictions. So as soon as they tie the president or the head of state, it also goes back, it bounces to the economy. So it's something very huge and very serious that the country is going to encounter. And I pledge that if they did not go by what I'm saying, I will resign from prediction and economy and spiritual work.
So what do they have to do? My question again, really. What do they have to do?
We have to do that one officially. As I sent Black Rasta to the former president, President Mama, I will give you the details of everything they are going to do. But
so you'll tell me the details of what they should do?
Yeah, I'll tell you the details of what they...
So I can tell those of them that I know?
Yeah, those...
One of their members of parliament just walked out of the studio. He's called George Anda. Maybe I can tell him, yes.
Okay. So, but as I'm saying, I don't wish the country to be in that stage. But by what I'm saying, if they did not go by what I'm saying, I will resign from my spiritual work. 3 years, they will struggle with the economy. It's a serious thing I'm saying.
3 whole years?
Yes, but if that one didn't happen, I'll resign from what I'm doing.
And they only get it right in the last day?
Yeah, only the last year that they are going to get it. But when we do, even with the sacrifice, they will struggle with the economy with 1.5 years upon all their economic growth.
1.5 years will be problematic unless they do the sadaqah.
With the 1.5 years, it will be problematic.
So the sadaqah will give 1.5 years of difficulty.
Yeah.
And after that will be fine.
Yeah,
without sadaqah, 3 years of difficulty.
Yeah, difficulties.
What kind of difficulty? Is it no money, the energy crisis? What kind of difficulty would it be?
Yeah, you know, as I told you that the other time, like they will go for a loan or something of that sort, and then the thing will bounce. A lot of economic, there will be a lot of economic inconveniences.
Will there be energy crisis?
Serious one.
Oh, the lights will go off again?
Serious one.
Why?
You know, as they are doing the elections, sacrifice has been made in the rivers, in the seas, in the what. Yeah. So definitely. And then there will be another problem will be on the agriculture. You know, they will be burying, they killed a lot of albinos. The other time
They killed albinos?
Yes, albinos.
Who killed albinos?
Both parties, all.
Why? Do albinos have a certain power that they
Yeah, they have. You can see it in Tanzania.
What's happening in Tanzania?
You don't see, you know more than I know. So they kill a lot of albino, triplets, pregnant women, all this. So
for political sacrifice?
Yeah.
So that's going to occasion energy crisis?
Yes.
I don't get the connection.
You must get it.
If people sacrifice?
If there is a sacrifice, and then the other one loses. So the heat of the spirit that it will bounce on the economy rather than individual.
So with Sadaka, 1.5 years of hardship. Without Sadaka, 3 years of hardship.
Yes.
Including energy crisis.
Serious one.
Light will go off.
The other time, once upon a time, one Senegalese is from Senegal, he came and helped Nkrumah with the energy crisis. You heard about something of that sort. One Islamic cleric came and helped Nkrumah with the energy crisis when the dwarfs were
Some people
disturbed.
say, Jibril, that you are just an attention seeker. You want to be called by the president-elect or the vice president-elect, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and you're just looking for attention.
It's very funny on Footnote. You can see that President Buhari invited me officially. That's the paper, and I didn't go. So I don't think if I reject President Buhari's invitation, there I will need, although they are all presidents, I don't undermine Addo.
But you told me you have accepted an invitation to go somewhere in January.
No, that one I'm going for something different, not for the invitation, not because I predicted Trump.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But as for me, I deal with CNN, BBC, Al Jazeera, and the other international platforms. So I don't think.
Can you teach me how to do this thing?
The calculation.
The calculations, yes.
Yeah, I can.
How long will it take me to learn it fully?
Probably in at least 20 years.
20 years?
Yes.
I'm over 40 years old.
So you see, it's something that this would. So I want to reserve some comment. If that another cleric comes, then I'll tell him that. Maybe I don't know whether he's talking about Daily Guide or other. I don't know.
Please fix the mic on him and the viewers in the studio. Who should I be looking at? Alex, should I be looking at you? Okay.
So, Mr. Paul.
The other cleric is here, and his concern is that what Jibril is saying is actually immoral.
Okay.
That Holy Quran has nothing to do with predicting by numbers and all of those things. As he's getting ready, who's going to win the African Cup of Nations?
As you called me, I was doing the World Cup, and then you asked me to stop. So far, so very good. I'm at the verge of finishing, but now I'm having spiritual provisional information for you. Then the next one, I'll give you details about what we are going to do.
Okay, so what the
So for now, I'm having Mali, Ghana, Morocco, and Algeria. That's what I'm having.
Many.
No, that's.
So the winning is Ghana, Mali,
Morocco and Algeria.
Morocco and Algeria.
Yes, but this is a spiritual
semi-finals.
No, this is the spiritual provisional result. I'll confirm it to you. Then I'll tell you the final and the guessing number, the one who is going to score, whether there will be a penalty in the final or they are going to score.
Okay, so the
whatever.
final is among these Ghana, Mali, Morocco, and Algeria.
That's amongst the people who are likely going to have the amount this. I'll do calculation and select one.
Sheikh, I could have predicted this too. I don't need numbers to do that. I mean,
that's why
if you look at the list of countries going.
I'm coming. Mr. Paul, listen. I said this is a spiritual provisional information. Do you understand it? I'll confirm it to you. I'll remove one out of the 4. Do you understand it?
When will you do that?
Probably next week or next month.
But you are traveling.
But I'll come back.
When will you come back?
In the course of, let's say, in the course of the week, I'll go to Kumasi and come back before I go to the US.
Okay, so before you go to the US,
yes, I'll give you. I want us to, the other time the World Cup, I predicted the number of goals, the number of fouls, and then the person who is going to score the final goal.
Yeah,
so I want us to, I want us to do it in that way. I don't want it. So,
you
but
said there's
provisionally,
going to be a coup in
a coup d'etat in Sudan.
Yes.
Yeah, Sudan. I didn't have the exact day.
Soon or later?
It's soon. Very soon.
Coup d'etat in Sudan.
That's what I'm saying.
Al-Bashir.
Umar al-Bashir.
Will he be killed?
But I said this one, that's about a year ago. I said Umar al-Bashir, President John Mahama, and Yahya Jammeh.
What's going to happen in Yahya Jammeh's country?
Yahya Jammeh, no matter what he do, he's not going to be the president of Gambia.
Really? It's gone?
I assured you.
Good evening, Sheikh.
Good evening.
So you've seen Jibril in person. You saw him on television. And then you called us frantically that he's saying something that is very wrong. Tell us, what is he saying that is wrong?
Okay, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. First of all, we say assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah to our dear viewers and the listeners. Was it Tuesday, right?
Yes, it was Tuesday.
You asked him how did he got to know things that he's saying, and
yes.
He said he's using Quran.
The numbers and then the Quran.
Yes, it's Islam.
Yeah.
So that's where, in fact, it baffles my understanding, because I have no match in the Quran. I'm not saying I'm best, But alhamdulillah, to what I knew in the Quran or what I know in the Quran, I haven't come across anything that he's saying in the Quran. I'm not disputing his knowledge, his spirituality and whatever, but that has nothing to do with Quran or Islam.
If he has nothing to do with Quran and Islam, is it therefore evil?
I see that.
You see it as evil?
Because Quran has said something like that. He said it's the evil spirits, the genies. They inspire people to
do these things.
To do these things.
So it is witchcraft?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
And most often too.
Jibril, for those who didn't see you on Tuesday, tell us, what did you relate to the Quran?
Thank you very much. As my dear friend is saying about whether the thing is Quran or it's a witchcraft or whatever, before first and foremost, I want to tell him that I'm the Hafiz of the Holy Quran. I commit the Quran to memory. And then within my Islamic capability, I'm making a what we call tafsir of the Holy Quran. So I want us to look at this verse, Mr. Paul. Look at this thing.
Okay, it says, change of destiny. Quran chapter 13, verse 39 to 40. Allah makes it to pass away and establishes what he pleases. And with him is the basis of the book. Then the dwarf.
13 what?
Quran chapter 13, verse 39 and 40.
Go.
So the other time you asked me.
It says, Allah makes it to pass away and establishes what he pleases. And with him is the basis of the book. There's another one here whose topic is frightening. It says the dwarf. Who is the dwarf?
No, I'm making some reference there. But before you go to the next one, the first one, the other time you asked me, that's on Tuesday, you asked me as to whether I can change the destiny of the election. And I said yes.
I have the Quran here. I want you to read in the Quran whether it matches what.
Okay, then I choose it. It's in my head. So
I look at it.
You tell us.
Do you choose the Holy Quran?
Oh yes, I have the Quran.
No, do you have it in the Holy Quran?
Yes.
So I'm going to ask you something about the Holy Quran.
No, you are not here for test.
No, Jibril first.
I want him to read from the Holy Quran.
Okay, now, okay.
Is that what you've written here?
Yes, the other time I told you.
Is that 39 to 40 that you've quoted here?
Yes, that's the quotation. So you should look at it.
Is it the same there that Allah makes to pass away and establish what he pleases?
Look at it.
Yes, Allah said, yeah.
And with him,
no, let him read it himself. So that
no, you have the, no, you read it.
The Quran is my.
No, I'm giving to Mr. Paul, the English one. Because I also have the verses that I want you to explain to me.
The people who say the Quran is in their head, how do you call them?
Hafiz.
Hufaz.
That is a plural. And the singular is
Hafiz.
Hafiz. Is he one? Is he Hafiz?
He said it. I don't know.
Okay. To whom? So this is Quran chapter 13, 39 and 4. 39 says, God abolishes whatever he wills, and he affirms. With him is the source of the scripture. That's 39. 40.
No, I'm coming. So the other time you asked me, can I change the destiny? Like the elections, can I turn it to President Mama?
Yeah.
What did I tell you?
You said God.
I said yes.
Yeah. Yes, you can.
And I gave you the verse.
So that to change it, it means that you have to make a supplication to God.
Yeah,
that's what the verse seems to say.
Yes, the supplication and the calculation. I'm coming. That's one point. I'm taking them one after the other. So that's one. So asking, did he believe with that? So that I'll bring the second one when I talk of figures.
40 says, whether we show you some of what we have promised them, or we cause you to die, your duty is to inform, and ours is the reckoning. Okay. What does that mean?
No, it's talking about numbers. So you look at the next one.
Okay, let me guess. Let me just get.
What I want him to understand is that, do you know a PhD holder?
Yes.
And someone in kindergarten.
Yes.
Their understanding of numbers is quite different. So someone in kindergarten, when you say that they are using the numbers to do these technology things, that the person will tell the PhD holder or the professor that is telling lies. Yes. So I'm having one quotation there. Look at there. The last one.
The beast.
No, not the beast. Look at the other one.
Nothing is neglected in the book.
Yes, nothing is neglected in the book.
You also have eclipse.
Yes, the eclipse. No, after the eclipse, the other one.
Reckoning.
Reckoning. Okay, read that one to him.
Quran chapter 17, verse 12. And we have made the night and the day two signs. Okay. Then we have made the sign of what?
The day.
Yes. Sign of the day. Yes. You put some ellipses.
Okay.
This is also in Genesis. I've seen this.
Yes.
In the Bible.
Yes. So no, it's talking about reckoning. Yes. In the end, it said that we make the night and the day for you to know how to calculate the days and the months and calculation, and we make it with perfection. That's what the verse said.
So this is numerology.
Yes, that's numerology. So let him read it himself so that I'll explain something to him if he doesn't know.
Surah Al-Isra.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
We are not talking about that. All this is to help us to
make
know
your point,
our
Sheikh.
weeks, our month.
Yes.
Fine. My point is that what he's trying to tell us is that he's the one who knows about invisible. He knows about invisible, unseen. So I want first of all to tell us whether there are contradictions in the Quran. If there is no, then he's explaining some of the verses for me. If you believe that there are contradictions, then I have no word with him.
Okay.
Are there contradictions in the Quran?
No, they are not contradictions. Maybe it's based on his understanding. Yes. No, I want to tell him that one is there.
Where?
Read the last one.
Eclipse?
The dwarfs.
Dwarfs. Why do you title it dwarfs, by the way?
No, it's a word that for me for identification.
But why do you use dwarfs?
That's the surah of the dwarf. He knows.
Are there dwarfs in the world?
Yeah,
That
they
is
are.
the jinn.
The jinn.
What do they
Yes.
do? What do dwarfs do?
The dwarfs.
Yes.
They also worship.
They are unseen.
We have
They worship who?
They worship Lord Almighty Allah. We have the good ones and we have the bad ones.
So they're like angels.
Yes. No, they are not like angels. They are also a set of
Who
themselves.
created them?
God.
Almighty. So just read the dwarf for him.
Chapter 72,
Yes.
26 to 27.
Good.
The knower of the unseen.
Good. I have the
So he
chapter
does not reveal his secrets to any, except to whom he chooses as a messenger.
Okay.
Good.
That's a very.
So are
that's
you
very
a
powerful.
messenger of God?
Okay.
He's asked you a question. Are you a messenger of God?
Never and not.
Okay. So
But I'm coming.
okay.
But what?
I want to ask him.
No,
we
please answer the question. Then you ask me.
No,
He said he's not a
I
messenger
said
of God.
no,
He's
no,
not a
and never.
Messenger. So that's what
No,
God
no,
is saying.
with
In Quran
explanation.
chapter 72,
I'm coming.
verse
Are there
26.
human messengers
Let
of
me.
God?
I'm coming. I say no, and I want to explain it to you.
Yes, go on. Our
Fine.
time is
We are
running.
waiting.
Yes.
We are waiting.
I want to ask you: do we have messengers of God at the moment now or not?
We don't have any messenger of God.
Okay.
Prophet Muhammad is
Sallallahu.
believed to be the seal of prophets.
Okay.
I'm
And the
not
seal
saying
of the messengers of Allah.
Who are some of the other messengers
Okay.
of Allah apart from Muhammad?
the Holy Prophet
Muhammad
sallallahu
is said
alaihi
by
wasallam.
the Quran to be the seal of prophets.
Okay, fair
and
enough.
the seal,
That's
the seal of the what? The messengers from Allah.
That's
Okay,
understood.
okay.
Yes.
So when we talk of messengers, it's a general word. Do you understand it? The prophets are messengers of Allah. As he seated, I don't know whether when he said that he commit the Quran to me or something, he preaches on behalf of the prophet.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Are you not preaching?
On behalf of them. So
I'm
doesn't
coming.
mean
I'm
that
coming.
a
I'm
prophet.
coming.
Yeah,
I'm
go on,
coming.
go on,
I'm
Jibril.
coming. So, as you preach on behalf of the prophet, in one way or the other, you are doing the work of the what? The prophet, because we know that as for preachings and all those and stuffs is for prophets.
Yeah.
But you are not a prophet, but you are still what?
Preaching.
Preaching. The Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that I left you the Quran and the Hadith. That's his words, the words of the Holy Prophet.
Yes.
And then there are some people or some ummah, like some scholars, I also left because they are closer to my understanding. That's what the Holy Prophet said. And then ulama warasat al-anbiya, the what do you call the scholars of today and the next generation, they are they are succeeding the what? They are inheriting the what? They are inheriting the prophets. That's what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said.
Yes.
So I asked him, did he believe with that?
Oh, yes.
He does, yes.
So if that is the point, I'm also a scholar in Islam. So I inherited whatever the prophets have.
Yeah.
I inherited their knowledge, and I inherited their spirit and whatever thing they have. So that thing is meant for the prophet, and whosoever لقد كان لكم في رسول الله أسوة حسنة لمن كان يرجو الله واليوم الآخر وذكر الله
So you are
كثيرا.
saying that, finish quickly, yeah?
Okay, so whosoever acts like the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when you behave good, you don't fornicate, you don't lie, you don't intoxicate, all this and stuff, then you will be pious like the prophet, because we know only pious people are perfect. But human beings, as we are also pious, depending on the way, the style of the what, the way you copy the style of the Holy Prophet. So also, how can we inherit their books and we can inherit their spirit? So that's
I get the point. So you're saying that the messenger role here describes, and it says that the knower of the unseen, so he does not reveal his secret to any, except to whom he chooses as a messenger.
Okay.
That role of a messenger can be transferred
to
based on how
you comport
make
yourself
obeisance to the tenets of the prophets.
Yes.
Once you do that, in Christianity, we believe, as Jesus Christ said, that what he had done, we can do more. That he goes and he sends the Spirit of the Lord. And when the Spirit of the Lord has come, we will be able to do more than even he did. That's something similar that you're talking about.
So I want to make another point. When you look at Quran 14, verse 2 to 3, I want him to know. God Almighty told us that we did not send any messenger. Listen to the word. We did not send any messenger, not until the messenger speaks the tone of his people. Unquote. 14. Me, the Quran is in my head. I'm a legend. I'm a wizard in the Quran. Everybody globally.
Wizard in the Quran.
He asked for that one. So you should look at that verse I'm saying, if he's having the Quran. We will never send to the people a prophet or a messenger, not until the people understand his tongue. He's talking about tribe. Which tribe are you?
I'm Ghanaian, that's why I like
No, I mean your tribe in particular.
And it's Ghanaian.
No, I mean...
I assume that I'm Ghana.
Yeah, Ghana. So I want to ask him, do we have a messenger sent by Almighty as a Ghana? I'm asking you.
What's the meaning of the question?
When he said that, when he wants to limit the thing to messengers. And the Holy Quran said that before we send anyone, we have to, he knows if the Quran is in, he said, as is in me.
No, this one even class.
No, I'm coming.
Don't
what I'm trying to put across is that, John,
very quickly now, I'll have to wrap
we have Busanga, we have people who are Busangers, we have Ascentis, we have Gans. Do you understand?
Yeah.
We never had a prophet or a messenger who is a Gan. Do we have a messenger who is Gan?
I don't know.
Do we have it?
No, you will tell us. Because
no, when you don't know, tell me you don't know, then I know.
No, I know prophet to be the seal of prophet.
No, I'm not saying,
so
I'm not saying about...
I ask you whether you are a messenger or prophet.
I'm not, I asked that one.
I think he's explained that one.
People are there, scholars are there, who are writing books. They are translating the Quran into Ga. Are they not there?
Yes.
Others are translating it into what? Into a sentence, tree, ever, and this. So God is saying that we don't send a community, a messenger, or a prophet, not until he understands what? The tone of the people. So now if we have someone who is a guy, and then the prophets are 124,000, as quoted, about 124,000, as quoted in Buhari and Muslim. He knows what I'm saying. So out of this 124,000, we never had a guy who is a messenger. We never had a Busanga and Muslim.
I get the point.
So
the point he's making is that because outside of 124,000, at the time the number was given, there was no Gan.
Okay.
Are you therefore saying that Gans will never have a messenger? That's the question he's asking you.
I'm asking
yes.
That's a
they will never have a
question.
they will
Yes. Very, very intelligent question.
Yes, and the answer is yes.
Okay.
The Gans will never have a messenger.
They will never have a messenger.
Yes, with explanation.
Okay.
What is the explanation?
If maybe he has the weak understanding of the Arabic ways.
Yeah.
Because I seems to be a linguist. I study Arabic language into details.
Very quickly, you tell us what the question is.
If we say that the Rasul, linguistically, is
I'm not saying the Rasul. I'm not saying the Rasul.
That is the...
No. I quoted the Quran. That's why I say. I choose the Quran. I asked you to look at the Quran. 14, verse 2 to 3.
For me,
you don't choose the Quran.
No,
I have the... What is the Arabic?
Look at the Quran. I'm not saying the prophet. I'm saying Quran. Don't misquote it.
I want you to tell me the word, the Arabic word of messenger.
I don't know.
No,
but
he
I'm
should
just
tell
saying
me.
that for me as a Christian, it's easy for me to understand what he's saying because in our Christian context, he said that he has poured his spirit upon all flesh. And the pouring of the spirit upon flesh continues as life continues.
Yes.
So that even if at the time that Christ ascended, there was no Akan, because the Spirit of God is poured upon all flesh, at the time that Akans emerge, the Spirit of God will be poured on those Akans who have believed in the Christ.
Yes.
So I get the point.
The teaching of Islam has frowned on this.
Okay.
Islam does not accept this. If Islam did, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, wouldn't have told Umar, one of his disciples, that if a messenger or a prophet would have come after me, would have been you. He told Umar right direct, and they are the 4 caliphs. One of them, Prophet told him. Because Umar, he's a person that when he says something, God even support him. Sometimes Prophet will suggest something, and Umar will say, no, this one will not help us. And they will disagree. And Allah will descend a verse and support what Umar is saying. Meanwhile, Umar is what? A follower.
So
he's a companion of Prophet. And the Prophet said that.
Mr. Paul, just ask him the Quran written in tree. So can we go and burn it since he said that the Quran written in tree in Ga? Can we go and burn the Quran because it's of no avail? As he said that no messenger in Ga.
Who said that?
All right.
You are saying it.
If I write Quran in Hausa, does it mean I'm a messenger?
Yes.
You say that it's evil, correct? This calculation of things, of how by calculation he can tell that President Muhammad.
That's why I wrote it in the Holy Quran.
Explain to me, Quran chapter 6, verse 59. God said that
we said
is unseen. Future is something that nobody knows about it.
So now
knows by Allah.
It is revealed to the.
Okay, I'm coming.
Those are the prophet and the messengers.
Just one.
So the choosing has already been done.
Mr. Paul.
The choosing. We have three types of revelation.
Mr.
We
Paul.
have behind the veil. We have behind the veil, and we have to send the messenger, and we have inspiration. If he's saying that he is a messenger, fine. Then
he didn't say he's a messenger.
Okay, fine. If it's not a messenger, God says in the Quran that he will not talk to human who is not a messenger or a chosen prophet. That's what Quran says. If he said he has memorized the Quran.
Let me ask him, Paul. Ask him
no,
that.
My brother, did God say that or not?
Did God reveal to the land, to the sand? Ask him.
The sand, what sand?
This sand, this land.
The sand on the ground.
Yes, God will reveal something to him, to that sand, and then
that's what
the sand will confirm. No,
you said you have the Quran in your memory.
Okay,
I think that will not be able to resolve this.
No, listen, Mr. Paul.
I want you to answer me this question.
No, Mr. Paul.
Did God say that he will not talk to human who is not a chosen
so as far as you're concerned,
is still God choosing or it's not choosing?
That's the point. You are, as far as you're concerned, the choosing, has it ended? Did it end with Muhammad?
Prophet Muhammad said that whoever believes that there is another prophet or messenger after him, he's out of Islam.
But that means Islam
I'm not saying
Islam will grow. He said, do you, these people, he has read the hadith which is authentic.
Yeah.
He said, I have left
let him quote the
Quran.
Let him quote the verse that there's no something of that sort. I quoted it. So quote the verse of the Holy Quran.
There's no something of what? That's the Quran I'm quoting. It's Quran chapter 6, verse 59.
So the thing that he says, numbers, manipulation of numbers to be able to determine the future is not part of Quranic teachings.
The Quran says that these are the what? The jinnis. Those that he called them dwarfs.
Where did the Quran say? Tell me that.
It's in the Quran chapter 72. That is the Quran chapter 72.
Verse what?
Verse 26.
Okay, read it. No. The Quran is in my head. Don't mislead people. Read it. When God said it's dwarfs, God did not, what he said is not true. Let him read it. That is dwarfs. It's not dwarf. You read it. You give him.
You are mentioning dwarf. I didn't mention dwarf.
No, now that you say that
it's a dwarf.
I said the jinn.
Gentlemen.
I said jinn.
But that's interesting. So you are saying that the manipulation of numbers that he applies is contrary to Quranic teachings and Quranic
astronomy. There is a subject called Ilm al-Falak.
And astronomy deals with what?
In that you can deal with that.
Yes. It with
but
that.
It's not Quranic.
It is not Quranic.
Is it evil?
Most of
it,
they work with what? The jinnis.
Okay. I beg you. Read Quran 36 verse 38. When he said it's not Quran, read Quran 36 verse 38.
Most of them, God says
just read Quran 36 verse 38.
Among them are evil, among them are good ones.
So if there are some who are good ones, could he be dealing with the good ones?
Maybe, I don't know. And the good ones will not choose to do this.
If you don't know,
the good ones will not choose to do that. The good ones are pious because they know that God don't want anybody to challenge him. And God does not talk to people because God even himself told us that these people we should be the jinnis, we should be very careful with them wrong with because they tell lies.
How can you believe? What are the proofs that I'm using a jinn? You just
no, I'm not saying him. I said the jinnis that they deal with.
If I'm not dealing with jinn, what am I dealing with? Tell me.
Me, I'm not saying you are dealing with
just
jinn.
tell me. If I'm not using the Holy Quran. Okay, just tell.
I'm saying that
he seems to have a strong argument and he seems to have scriptures to back him.
Yeah,
those are the same.
I'm coming there.
Yeah.
God, everything is not hidden to God. Do you believe that?
Everything is not hidden, yes.
So now, if you are talking of something hidden, will you add God? No. I'm asking you.
No, you won't.
I'm just asking you.
God himself is hidden.
I'm coming. Do you believe that everything is hidden to God?
No, he knows everything.
He knows everything.
Yes, who Allah.
Okay, now if something is hidden, no, I'm coming.
No,
if something is hidden, they want people to look at and search for it. Is God part of searching it? Because
no.
He already knows. So you are taking God backward when you are adding him as this. So what you are making a baseless argument because God knows everything.
He said, the point I make is that God knows everything. It's up to some men to conduct themselves to find out.
To find out that thing.
Okay, fine. To find out.
The Holy Quran said that. أفلا يتدبرون القرآن. Am ala kulubi akfaluha.
No.
Won't you brainstorm?
He said, you ponder.
Yeah, you ponder
over the Quran.
you ponder. Or reflect your mind,
Yes.
or the hearts are locked. It means that there's something hidden. You have to ponder, or you have to reflect, or you have to brainstorm before you get
Fine,
it.
that's
So
what
if you are a kindergarten in Islam and somebody is a PhD or professor emeritus, you can't just. It's
We
a
have a lot
hopeless
of
argument.
conversation to have, Jibril.
Okay, thank
We
you.
have a lot of conversation to have. Sheikh, thank you so very much for coming
you very much.
to help us understand.
Thank you.
Viewers, thank you so very much for watching. That's Good Evening Ghana. We'll be back next week.